Okay, so if you are or have been following along on the page, you know we took in LBJ Starfire, aka Franklin, hello, who is really a sweetheart. I don't know. If you look close, his star is kind of a huge heart. He's gonna eat my microphone. Anyway, so let's go back to the beginning. So in September of last year, there was a person, a friend, Angela, had gone to a New Holland Monday, and she sent a picture of this horse. And there was no other information at the time, and to be honest, I was a little overwhelmed with just having the ask, and I kind of didn't look at it. I put it away. But as we all know, what's meant to be forces its way in, and sure enough, she had gotten back with me and had talked to the person who had consigned him to this New Holland sale, and he was an Amish dealer, broker, and he had gotten him at Superior the previous year, so that's November of 2022, and I think he got him for like $6,500 if my memory serves me correctly, and he came out of a show barn. He has a big resume in saddle seat driving. They've taken him hunter, and he was purchased for, what is my understanding, he was purchased for a walk trot rider who was not very confident, but it was to continue her last 2 years in walk trot and then follow to the move up. So, but he wasn't working out, so I guess they had spent a year trying to figure him out, and he was never going to be a match for this young rider. So, feeling like they didn't have another choice, or there wasn't any other interest, I'm not really certain. Again, I meet these horses, this is where I meet these horses. I don't know them prior. I don't really pay attention to who's showing out there. At the time, I know who his previous trainers are. I don't know them very well. So, it is what it is. We are here for the horse primarily, and that's what we're trying to help make better. So in talking with them, they felt like they didn't have another choice, and they were running out of time to find a match for their young rider. So in order to get another horse, they had to sell this one, so they brought him to Superior. If you go to any of these sales, whether it's Mid-A, whether it's Superior, whether it's Buckeye, the list goes on. They are quality Morgan sales. You can get a quality Morgan horse that is show competitive there. But the attendance of these sales are primarily Amish. So the likelihood of them ending in his case, a show home, going to a show home is going to be rare. And that's just the honest truth. So in his case, he was a show horse, and he ended up with an Amish dealer who does prep and resell. And that's exactly what he did. He took him home, he prepped him for a sale, he sold him to a local Amish family, and it's not clear whether it was just a family horse to work on the road, to pull on the road. That is their primary market. There are Amish that buy and sell and work in the show realm, but it is so big, their primary use is going to be for work, and that's just a fact. That is a fact. and that's where he ended up. And he's not really got the build for it, and I don't necessarily agree with a horse that has only known a show barn atmosphere lifestyle, not being prepared to go to what that lifestyle is. It's not wrong, it's not right, but it is rare that it works out. And in his case, it wasn't working out. And anybody, I don't know if you can see this, but it's boreum, and it is needed for the road. So it keeps the feet from slipping underneath them, and it's grip, so it's traction, and it sticks, and it's torquing the joints and the muscles every time. So if he's tense and excited and, you know, more of a pleasure show horse, and he's trying to pull this covered wagon or you know, top buggy is what they call it, or even a boy's horse and a jog cart down the road, it's stopping him every time. So there is going to be torque on those joints. And I don't know if you've been in Pennsylvania, but between the traffic and the, you know, the big rigs that come by and they pass really close, and the potholes and the hills, there is a chance of injury. And that's apparently what happened to him. I really think that's what's going on with the left hind ankle. And that's going to be, that just is now, that is with him now. So anyway, he was sold to this family. He wasn't working out. The broker who had bought him at Superior found out that he was going to sell again, and he purchased him at the sale that he went through from this family again. So he purchased him back, but he didn't keep him long, and that's when he turned around and tried to sell him at the New Holland. Well, actually, he tried to sell him at Mel Hoover's, or bought him from Mel Hoover's. That's kind of unclear. And then that following Monday, so Mel's is usually on a Saturday, and that following Monday is the New Holland Monday, where our friend Angela had seen him and spoken with the broker to try and purchase him. And he ended up by no-selling at New Holland because he was like only going for $3,000. And in Angela's talking with him, you know, sometimes it is a foreseen expectation that the Amish see us as having money because we're coming from the show world, so we're going to spend the money. And his asking price was 10. So needless to say, we had to let him go and say no, and they exchanged contact information. And then maybe a week later, I had my Amish friends who had rehabbed him for a bit get in touch with him. And sometimes talking to Amish is just, it goes a little smoother. And it did. And we were able to purchase him for a lot less. And Amos had him at his barn. And he's just been between stall rest, light legging up, nothing major. His personality was totally different from what had been relayed to us. And I would say it still is. You can watch, there's video of me just grooming him, picking up his feet. Sorry that his feet weren't done sooner than today. Not sure why that happened. We all had timing issues, I guess, but regardless, I think once we get his feet trimmed up and just kind of able to figure out him a little bit more, get some more weight on him, teach him he can wait and be slow. I was able to mount him in the barn without a lot of reaction, and still kind of acting like he remembers that show side versus any experience from his short Amish life. So, seeing as there's past behavioral history that anyone would share, or would be told this, some of the things are that he's a sweet horse with claustrophobic tendencies. He does well outside with other horses. There was controversy about him freaking out in a stall or in a confined space, or any space that he feels confining. So you'll see in my video that my wash stall was pretty closed off at the time of his grooming and his tacking up. He's pretty chill right here in his stall, and that's pretty much how he's been since that first turnout. And my aisle's pretty confining, and he wasn't. I've had so many horses come in with these same labels to them, and they're so much more tense than he is presenting right now. And I really think he's on the good side of the spectrum. At least I'm hoping. I'm hoping this isn't like an extreme shutdown case. And as he feels better and has more understanding, then we see it, and then we have to go back. But in any case, I don't know. I was told at the beginning when I first asked that he would need to walk off when he first mounted. But then we had also tried to, so based on what Amos was saying to me, I was feeling confident that maybe we could place him before he moved out of PA and came to Texas. And there was 2 interested parties, but they were told that it was more bolting and fearful of close contact. Not from the tack, but from people and things. And he exhibited the same behavior when hitching. Sorry. They were told he was not good for the farrier. He doesn't want to stand close contact, but you could see he was allowing me to play with his feet. He didn't want to keep that right leg up, but I think that's the stress that he's feeling on the left fetlock. Excuse me. Other than that, I don't know. This is Franklin. I think he's really I think he's going to be easier than some that have come in, but we are just at the beginning. You're seeing what I'm seeing. This is the intake. At some point I will show you the feed regimen, but he is on a herbal, something for the gut, and also something for the joint to help with that. I've had good success with it. It's Western medicine, and that's it. So further on in the video, we'll share how he was grooming and tacking up. He does remember treats and the first mounting, and that's where we're at. So Tuesday he gets his feet done, and hopefully that will go well, and we'll take it from there. And I got him out to see what was going on with his shoes and get a closer look at things. He does have all four on, and they're really pretty long. A little disappointed that he didn't get done while he was up there in Pennsylvania, but it is what it is. Here we are. He's actually been just hanging out. I mean, compared to a lot of the others that have come in, kind of with similar labels, he's not very reactive at this point. He's let me pick up all 4 feet. I was gonna try and pull the shoes off, but I do think this left hind is where the suspensor injury was, and he's having a hard time putting weight on that foot, with his feet being so long and the borium still on. So if you watched the video the other day that I posted, or yesterday, he was trotting sound, so I'm not sure that it's something that's still bothering him, but he still is swollen in that left fetlock area. And I still think the reason he comes out stiff at first is because he's got really long feet with shoes that are now small and tight on his feet, and he's gonna get that taken care of on Tuesday. He does have pads on the front, so I'm kind of assuming there's a little thrush going on in there, and there is some thrush going on in the back feet, so I do think we need to get his feet squared away before anything else. But so far he's very sweet. He's kind of been the opposite, just hanging out here. He is a little on the thin side compared to what I would imagine. He's off a little top line. He's not, I mean, I'm kind of rubbing him all over, kind of seeing if there's any ulcer reactions, but he's not really giving me anything, but we are giving him a supplement for prevention of that. So, I don't know. He is a good size. I'll get a stick out here in a minute. My dog was just in here playing ball in front of him. He didn't care. Not really bothered. He is bothered by being able to hold up the right hind for a long time, but I think that's compensating for the left. He just doesn't want to stand. Does show a little bit of, I don't really want to call it food aggression, but he kind of pins his ears at first when you bring food in, and that can be just because maybe he wasn't getting enough constantly throughout the day where he was at, and he's hungry. So he has a little bit of that aggression, but he hasn't like bit at me or charged me or anything. And I think he remembers what treats are. He liked the night check last night. Everybody got treats. Bodie, are you helping? And there's no heat in it. It's pretty cool. So whatever it was, it is old, something he's getting over. Let's see. Okay, now everybody freaks out about this stick. I guess if reactivity is going to happen to a thing, it's going to be the stick. Huh? Can we see how high you are? Huh? You're a little taller. He's 15-2 at the Wizard. Hey, Bodie. And really, other horses have reacted worse to this. So, that was pretty good. You may have to move the baby. I moved him to a different stall so my mare could come in. I don't know. He's pretty sweet. Okay, so here is Mr. Cutie Patootie. Franklin. You can see he's just not quite muscled or filled in here anymore. His front legs. Good shape, just long feet. Don't know if he'll stand. There we go. So it is a little dropped, but it's definitely old, whatever it is. And, or however he did it. He's lost a little muscle. Definitely a little bit more dropped in that left hind than the right. So whatever's done has been done, and it's probably just going to be scar tissue there. But we will have the vet out to, or bring him. The downside is I don't have vets that can come with x-ray or ultrasound, so mostly I have to haul out. But so far, I really like him. And I don't know, he's doing so good, aside from his feet, really. I decided to take it a step further, and it's really rainy here. I had already brushed him off. He was pretty much the same good boy as he was yesterday. And I just want to tack him up and see what he does for the mounting block. One of the things they said he did was he would bolt away from the step, or not stand at the step, or feel like he had to walk off. There was a few various things, and that he was a little claustrophobic and more reactive over things, not necessarily people. So we're just going to do it step by step and see how he reacts. And if it starts to go bad, we're not going to push it. We're just going to make it a good interaction. And if he's good, then we'll get on, we'll walk up the aisle, we'll come back, we'll get off, and that'll be it. But he's got a really, I like his personality so far. Hal is playing with Mr. Diamond across the fence, so that will be a little bit of clangy noise that you hear. But in his defense, he is only 3, and he does want to get out and play. We are just, I don't know, the rain won't stop, and it's ankle deep mud, so there's that. Makes it a little hard. Huh, what do you think? Okay, I've had plenty of other horses come in through the program who were way more reactive than what he's given me now, so I am not thinking this is going to be a bad thing. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it. We shall see. What do you see your little friend? Trying to get a feel for where he's at, what he might need. There's a lot of rehab even needed. I have never met him. I didn't know anything about him until I looked up his papers on the registry. Didn't know his history. Nothing. Alright, we don't want to do that super tight. Back. I'm not sure he's going to give it to me. He's not giving it right now. Huh. Using a Snapple, just a Mylar, very smooth.
Everybody wants the cookie. Everybody wants the cookie.
Bigger. Squishing your ear. Dog is sad. Here. Hasn't been able to come out because it's been way too muddy. There's no bit bigger head. Yeah. You don't mind, do you? Ow! It's a little colder and wetter today, so. Seems, I don't know, content, happy. So, horses may pick up on energy, the high energy place that he was from. That might have been the reason for the different assessment. Maybe when he starts feeling even better, he'll just be a horse, we just don't know. Alright, so nothing's tight. The capstan is really loose. There's a good 2 fingers in there. Snug the girth. And we're gonna move over to muddy. What do you think? Like the cookie idea? Here I come. You want more? Ooh. I don't really feel hump in the back. I'm gonna want to say hi to everybody down the aisle. Okay. Poor gal. Ended out of cookies. Oh, but he was a good boy. Alright, so I think once we get his feet